Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always.
Yo.
Tuesday, NCAA basketball is over. We're going to break down Gonzaga getting their ass whooped by the Baylor Bears yesterday. Baylor just bullied them. We're going to talk that. NFL quarterback talk. Rodgers in Green Bay. We got Darnold just moving for 3 picks to Carolina. And then the NFL draft. We're going to talk about that. NBA 25 under 25 list came out from ESPN. We're going to try to pick our what type of squad would we put together if we had an opportunity to pick our squad for 25 under 25. The list is interesting. Spoiler alert: LaMelo Ball's in the top 5. Is that warranted? We'll talk about that. But Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
Yeah. What's business, man? What's going on?
Took a week off. You see the tan?
Oh, yeah.
See the tan, G?
Looking dark out here, man. You caught some rays?
Took the week off, you know.
Yeah.
My girl, what's up, Cody? My girl was on spring break, so we went down to Florida to kick it for a little bit. We all vaxxed up too.
And you hop right back into 80 degrees. How about that?
Yeah, it came right back. It was warm here too. So it's all love. It's all love.
Absolutely, man. It's a beautiful thing. And yeah, you said you got your vax. I got my second shot tomorrow. So yeah, look on Twitter, look on the internet, man. There's all types of places you can go ahead and get your shots, man. Make sure y'all are getting up on that, man. They're over here at Wrigley Field giving out extra doses if you didn't get one yet. Whatever it is, man, go ahead and get that taken care of.
Wait, what you talking about?
So they said at Wrigley's the site where they're doing vaccinations.
Yeah.
I guess they had extra today, so they're standing on the corner like, hey, we have extras asking people walking by. Yeah, if you're walking by, hey, you need your vaccination, let's do it.
Interesting.
Which I think you should probably go find some homeless people or something like that and be like, hey, let's, take care of the people who might not have the resources to find out when it's always popping off. But whatever, regardless, get the people vaxxed up. You know what I mean? I got my second shot tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful, man. And summer's going to be decent, man.
Yes, it is. It's here.
Right back at it.
All right, let's talk. No catch up. First take Tuesday. Big Nick the Quick. Lead us off, man. First take.
Man, I don't even think this. I'm not going to say this is a hot take because it'd be disrespectful to the game to call it a hot take. I just think it's a take that I probably didn't even realize until I watched. So like you and I last episode, man, we trashed a little bit on the college sports. Just overall, it's no secret. We are pro guys.
Yes.
Right? We watch the NBA, we watch the National Football League, and that's that, right? We don't dabble in the college. We don't pretend to. This is a game day. If you want that, there's plenty of other places you can go to.
Facts.
But I did happen to turn on the Baylor and UConn women's game. And
yeah, I saw you tweeting.
It completely changed my mind on everything I had to say about college sports.
In what way?
The level of play, the level of talent, and I'm not didn't just watch that one game. I watched the rest of the tournament after that. The level of play, the fact that you have upperclassmen, things like that are obviously performing. In the men's game, the upperclassmen are gone after 1 or 2 years. There are no upperclassmen. And if you're around for 4 years, something went wrong. Usually suspect. Yeah. So with this, obviously, in the ladies' game, that most of them stay in 4 years. It's just the level of play, the level of execution, the level of coaching, just what the players are able to do when they're just that much better, that much smarter, that much more talented, and 4-year players, and just really, really, really good. It looks so much more like the NBA game than anything I saw in the men's game until we got to like the Final Four, specifically until we got to UCLA and Gonzaga, and really last night just watching Baylor in general, right? Like Baylor looks like a pro team. But overall, we talked about the missed layups, the missed open shots. Like, you're not getting that in the women's game with these teams, right? Like, I would say I watched from the Sweet 16 on, like, you're just not getting that. Like, it's just high-level basketball, high-level execution. We talk about cutting to the basket. When you're talking about the screen and roll game, like, just the ability at which they are able to execute. The level of basketball was so much better, and it was the most enjoyable basketball that I have watched in March. So,
Yeah.
Yo, they got a fan in me. Shout
I'll
out
tell you
Paige.
this.
Shout out Paige Buckets. Shout out the Baylor squad. Shout out the Arizona squad. Shout out Arizona's coach flipping off the camera. Shout out all of them, man. Shout out Stanford coach, 30 years in between titles. Like it was just high level. And shame on me for not checking it out.
I'll say this: I've never watched that much women's college basketball in my life, and I'm not gonna lie, act like I watched the whole tournament, but I watched a couple games, and there was some high level ball. So, yeah. Salute to the chicks, and I appreciate them. I want to say this, since we're about to take about the next hour and change talking about sports. My first take is I was down in Florida, and this was my first time. I spent my girl's grandmother lives in Naples, so we spent half the time in Naples and half the time in Miami. And Naples is the whitest place in America, I think. Like when you think of affluent white America, like when you walk into Naples, you'll be like, oh my God, this is what it was, a Polo Ralph Lauren J. Crew magazine. Like that was exactly what it was. Like to the clothes, to the decor, to the houses, to how people talked.
Was this a point of like uncomfortability?
Kind of like it was the Truman Show almost.
Yeah.
It was like
I don't belong here.
Yes, like it was that refined.
Yeah, right.
It was like American, it was just like, it was that refined and that old school white. It was interesting. And I didn't have any problems or anything. I'm not saying, I'm not even on any racist shit.
Yeah,
it was
just for sure.
This was the most white place I've ever been to. It was legit a J. Crew magazine. That's what it looked like. So if you ever get down to Naples, check it out. It was a lot. Big kick-it scene. Like every night we went to dinner, whether it be Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whatever it was.
Everybody's out.
Everybody's chilling. So it was an interesting place, man. If you get down there, check it out. Holler at me. Let me know what you think. I'm interested to hear. So all right. First Take Tuesday in the books. Let's jump right into the Baylor Bears.
Real quick, when you said that, it made me think of something. And I've noticed that in like other wealthy areas that you go to, like when I go out to California and shit like that. It's like, yo, y'all got all this bread, but it doesn't seem like anybody works. Like, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
everybody goes
to lunch. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a constant weekend. It's like, man, when does I just got to figure it out. I'm missing something.
Exactly.
I'm missing something. So
it was it was a lot of old people kicking it. Yeah, it was an interesting scene. So I never experienced that before, so it was cool. All right, let's talk Baylor. I'll lead it off. Like Big Nick the Quick said, I'm never a big college hoops fan. When it gets down to the Elite Eight and the Final Four and all that, I'll start to pay attention and watch. And every game I watched this year at Gonzaga, I was impressed. I was even impressed with UCLA the other night because that was one of the best games I've seen. I know everybody's saying that, but that shit was facts, man. That game was great. But I'm like, okay, they just had a little trouble against UCLA, bumped into a little issue. What happened to them last night was an ass whooping. They got flat out beat up, destroyed, whatever you want to call it.
From the opening tip. It was for the opening tip. Baylor was two different basketball teams on the floor.
It was almost like, man, we're not ready for this.
Yeah.
Gonzaga was like, we can't compete with these dudes. That's what it looked like from the start.
And Baylor clearly was like, you're not doing any of that pretty shit against us. Everybody talks about your offense. You're not going to do any of that pretty shit against us. Take your headbands off.
Defense was swarming. They cleaned up the boards. Insane.
Yeah.
They were getting second chance points. Gonzaga wasn't. They were one and done, and that was the biggest part of the game for me. I don't know how to there's multiple ways you can put this, but Baylor just had more dogs on the floor than Gonzaga. It was like city kids versus
prep school kids.
Prep school soft kids is what it was. That's what it looked like.
Baylor had a bunch of down south Louisiana, Texas type boys that were in there playing hard. I mean, you could tell from the opening tip they were fired up. They were crashing the boards. Their defense was swarming. They're forcing them into turnovers. Baylor has these guards that are just like these little bulldogs. You know what I mean? You have Mitchell. You have Flagler and the other guy who had like 24 last night. Like these guys are just dogs. Like they're getting up into your chest. They're playing this physical brand of basketball. You know, they got the big dude in the middle from Louisiana over there cleaning everything up. Like it's just playing bully ball, and Gonzaga's got these highly skilled guys, right?
Highly
Which is
skilled
nice.
guys, yeah.
It's really nice until you run into some guys who are just like, you know what, tonight we're not going to play that way.
Well,
that's just not how we're playing today.
And Baylor was just wild in your face on the defensive end, and they were hitting everything to start.
Everything, yeah.
So if you're going to tell me that they're going to come out and hit all their jumpers and then get in your face on the defensive end,
and you can't go on a run,
and then clean the glass up,
you're
in trouble. I don't care if you're you're undefeated and one of the best teams, aka people have ever seen or whatever. But yeah, it was different. It was a different feeling.
It's the game plan that Baylor came out with. Shout out Scott Drew, one of the Drews, Larry Bryce, one of them. Scott Drew. Shout out him for that game plan. The head coach, yeah, for the game plan that he had, because it was clear that he had his team ready and Gonzaga was not. So yeah, and I think you said it. Like Mark Few's got to be thinking, if I can't win with this squad, man, if I can't win on a year with no Duke, a year with no North Carolina really involved, a year with no Kansas really involved, a year with no Kentucky really involved, man, I got to go beat a football school in Texas, and I can't do it. Yeah, and I got a top 5 recruit, a top 5 draft pick. Yeah, if you're him, you're like, what else I got to do? What else I got to do? But man, Baylor just came in and played. And when we say like a street type ball, it's not like they were doing anything dirty or anything outside of the lines. It was just physical. It was aggressive. It was men versus boys. It was aggressive. That was the way it was aggressive. And it's like they knew. And if you watch Baylor play, I think I'd said it like earlier in terms of Baylor looks like the best team because they just played physical. And no one wants to deal with that for 40 minutes. Like, no one wants to deal with that for 40 minutes. They just played like some dogs.
It's like when you're playing pickup ball and you, at some point in the pickup run, the guy that never stops running or moving is on you.
They're setting screens.
And you're trying to shake this dude just for like just to get the ball, and he's in your pocket.
Right.
It looked like that for all 5 of the guys on Baylor, on Gonzaga, the whole first 30 minutes. Right. They were just in their pocket the whole way. Yeah, man, it was an interesting game. I think the Gonzaga thing, I don't know, man. I think this whole undefeated shit, you never want to lose a game, but I don't know if you could play cupcakes all year.
Yeah.
Yo, because they got into – because if you think about it after the fact, right, you look at it, and essentially Gonzaga played a bunch of cupcakes all the way through, bumped into UCLA.
Who's in their conference? Like Fresno State, teams like that?
Yeah, William St. Mary.
It's like the non-Pac-12 West Coast teams, right?
Right, exactly, right? So, like, that's my question to you is it – can you just play cupcakes all year and then bump into – they essentially – from the outside looking in, from a guy like me, you play cupcakes all year, then bump into a really tough game in UCLA, and you have to essentially hit a half-court heave off the glass in overtime to win that game, and then you bump into a squad that has been really good all year from the Big 12, and you get mauled and smashed and smoked out, not even in the game at any point.
Right. Well, I think they had scheduled Baylor, right, in the season, and the game got canceled. I think
got canceled.
Yeah. So they had scheduled them and got canceled due to COVID. But yeah, I mean, look, man, it
has to say something to that, Doc.
Yeah, but they also were rolling everybody else that they played in the tournament, right? So it's not like they were struggling with other teams that were made to the tournament. They didn't really struggle until they saw UCLA. And UCLA was playing just outstanding basketball come March time. I think was it you or somebody was telling me you got to watch out for those first 4 teams because a lot of them are good teams. The UCLA, look, they might not have been great in the Pac-12, but they're still a Pac-12 team full of Pac-12 athletes, right? And you get those guys in the right situation, and they can win some ball games. So that's a tough matchup for them.
But is there something to say like, yo, you need to be –
you need to play against some guys because what's never going to happen, you will never play against anything even close to Baylor in that conference.
Right.
You won't play against. You'll never play against anything like that. So you're not going to see that.
You're cruising all year. Nothing you know, you go down 10 points. You're like, hold on a second, G.
Yeah.
And then it's not like you're playing a bum squad where you can kind of just flip it on. I felt like Timmy, like he was getting locked up.
You know what though? So here we might be wrong on this. So I'm going through their schedule. They played a tough schedule. So they opened the season at 12 Kansas.
Yeah.
8 Iowa.
Yeah.
They played 13 West Virginia.
Yeah.
They played 15 Virginia.
And they were smashing people, right?
23 BYU. But then once
are these all at the beginning of the year?
That's in the beginning, exactly.
Week?
Once you get into conference, you're playing against San Diego, St. Mary's, Pacific, Pepperdine, and yeah, you play tough in the beginning of the year, and then you don't stretch again until March. So to your point, I think that's where it hurts you. Knowing that you got this cupcake schedule, maybe the problem is no one's going to play you in the middle of the season. In their conference season, like people probably aren't signing up to go play them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but I mean, or catch-22. But yeah, I think there's something.
I mean, look, they've been in the title game 2 of the last 4 years now. Gonzaga.
For sure. Yep.
They've been in the Elite Eight multiple times over the past 6 or 7.
And now they're grabbing elite recruits.
Yeah. So
you look at Suggs, Hachimura. I mean, you're getting guys that are top 10 picks.
Yeah. So maybe it's just. They need one more. Yeah,
it's just hard to win a championship. You know what I mean? It's hard to win a championship. Yeah. Like I think sometimes it's like instead of looking like oh, does this mean they can't? It's just hard to be the one team out of every team that wins one, right? It's just hard to be the last man standing at the end of that tournament. They had a great year. I think look, man, he's gonna reload again. I think if anything,
Cody just said they got to move to the pack. That would be sick. Go ahead.
That would be sick, but they're not going to do that. Why? You can just waltz into the number 1 seed every year. Because I think now more money for sure. I think now though, what Suggs showed is that you can be a top 5 recruit, go to Gonzaga, play deep into the tournament, and come out a top 5 draft pick, which is going to show other kids, hey, maybe I don't need to go to Duke and play with 10 other guys who are first round draft picks, right? Maybe I can go to Gonzaga, literally get the keys to the program, right? And still play with other guys who are pretty good. So I think if I'm him, that's what I'm recruiting on, right? Get a couple blue chippers and then a bunch of Drew Timmies and all these other guys and go from there.
Fair enough.
Shout out Baylor though.
Dogs. They mashed those boys up. It was put them in the grinder for 40.
Yard dogs.
Put them in the grinder for 40 minutes and never in doubt.
It was never in doubt.
And never let them out.
Never in doubt. And the national media, I feel like the broadcast, everybody wanted Gonzaga to win so much.
Yeah, maybe. Shout out to the Nets.
They were killing people in Baylor's program 20 years ago. So.
Gee, come on.
Baylor's football team, basketball team, that shit is all fucked up.
I don't mean to laugh like that, but yeah, that's facts. There's no doubt about that. So
no one mentioned that. They're like, yeah, you rescued the program. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit more? I'm not laughing about it either, but like if you know the story, it's fucked up. So
yeah, it was dark days for sure. All right, let's move over to the NFL real quick, and then we'll close the last segment out.
Can we real quick kind of just do one thing? I know that we're not going to talk about it, but listen, man. If you get a check every 2 weeks, and at the top of that check, it says Disney.
No, we're going to talk about that.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah, we're talking about
all right.
Yeah, we're going to. I
thought we weren't coming on this. Okay,
no,
I'll hold that thought.
I'm almost like, let me get this NFL out the way so we can get to this NBA and then talk about that because
wheelchair Paulie.
Paul. Yeah, we'll talk about it, no doubt. All right, let's talk NFL real quick. The quarterback situation is obviously always a hot button topic. Sam Darnold has moved to Carolina for a 6th round pick this year, and then next year for a 2 and a 4. So 3 total picks for Sam Darnold to go to New York to Carolina. The Panthers now have a new quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do with Teddy Bridgewater. We'll see what happens.
Give him $100 million.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But you know that NFL money is funny money. So we'll see what happens with that. The Jets are not going to take Zach Wilson. Apparently, that's a surefire lock. So The
They said
NFL
they're
draft.
not going to?
They are.
But they're now going to. Have they said that?
Now going to. They haven't. Of course not. But that, from what Schefter and the rest of the guys are saying, that's a surefire lock. Trevor Lawrence.
For all we know, the Jaguars might take him based on some of the shit that I'm seeing. So I don't really fucking know.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But I do want to talk about Sam Darnold because I think he is an interesting situation. He's been buried in New York under Adam Gase for multiple years now. We all know that. Mina Kimes and a lot of super sharp NFL folks are pounding the table saying he's still a good quarterback. He needs to get out of there. And once he gets in a better system, he'll be able to, lead a team and put up W's along with the numbers, right? What are your thoughts on that? Where do you stand with Sam Darnold? Is 3 picks too much, with the 2 being the top? What do you think?
So I'll hit a couple things on that. Number one, I didn't realize that Sam Darnold has only been in the league for 3 years. Like, I really thought he's been in the NFL for 5 years. So he's been in the league the longest 3 years probably in the history of the NFL. He's had bad coaching. He started off with Todd Bowles that first year. Shout out Todd Bowles, Super Bowl champion. That first year, but obviously they didn't give Todd a chance to grow. They brought in Adam Gase, which we know the situation. We've ran the tape. You know the numbers. We've talked ad nauseum about Adam Gase and how we feel about him.
Shout out Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, shout out Ryan Tannehill, right? I think what's happened with Darnold is that he's now in that situation where people have decided that the Adam Gase thing and all that was so bad that pretty much every bad trait about Darnold has been chalked up to the fact that he was playing for Adam Gase, right?
It's a nice situation to be in.
It's a great situation. Obviously, he just got traded for 3 picks. He's probably going to get a contract.
Right.
So, he's gotten the benefit of the doubt in every mistake he's made in his career. He has not played good football. I told you yesterday, I can't tell you one Sam Darnold moment, one throw that sticks out to me, one game that sticks out to me, anything like that. So I think he's really benefiting from that. And it's made it so that people won't even evaluate him. It's like they throw away the film on this guy. We're almost going to treat him like a rookie.
He's almost a rookie, yeah.
Yeah, we're treating him like a rookie, right? So it's really on him to make a difference there. If they brought him there to be the starter and he somehow parlayed those 3 years into New York and became that sympathetic that returned into a starter, then great, man. Now you're going to have a great opportunity. There's no more excuses. So it's put up or shut up time. But I do think he became at some point extremely overvalued. And I point to the Trubisky contract as this. If you're the Panthers, wouldn't you rather pay Mitch Trubisky $1.5 million? Mitch Trubisky, who you have seen have success in the NFL, right? We watched it. He sucks overall, but I can point to Mitch moments, right? I can point to more Mitch moments, more Mitch W's, more Mitch successes, more Mitch's flashes than I can with Sam Darnold, dude. Darnold's a turnover machine. He fumbles. He throws a ton of picks. Like, those are things. So I would have much rather just been like, well, why wouldn't you just take a flyer on Mitch for $1 million and have him compete with Bridgewater? So in that sense, yeah, he's wildly overrated. I'm not giving up 3 picks for this guy. He's not going to be on the Jets. The Jets are going to cut him. So all you got to do is wait till he gets released and say, hey, we'll give you a starting job. And there's only so many teams who are willing to say that to him. So
yeah,
I feel like
I don't know if they were going to cut him, but
what were they going to do? You draft Zach Wilson and have him be the backup? What does Sam Darnold do as a backup for? You need a mentor, not a guy who's trying to take his job. That's an uncomfortable situation.
Honestly, if I'm the Jets, I would have drafted Wilson, kept Darnold on the team.
I would have drafted Justin. Why am I giving Justin Fields?
Justin Fields, yeah. I don't know. How many times have you seen the team with an extra quarterback on the roster get a crazy offer in like the first 3 weeks of the NFL season and somebody gets hurt? They get like 2 1s, right?
Well, they just got it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got a 6. They got a 2 and a 4 or 6. Yeah, I mean,
a 2?
Two
for
is
Sam, a 2 is a 2. A 2 and a 4. 2, right? 2s and 4s are starters.
Yes,
6s are depth.
but this is the thing, right? So apparently Joe Brady, the guy that was at LSU that did that made Burrow into Burrow, and Matt Rule together are supposed to be they're supposed to be able to put together a crazy O. Now you're going to give Joe Brady, this young guy with all this talent, and then McCaffrey will be back healthy. They should be able to put together a crazy offense. Honestly, This may be a hot take. I don't see Sam Darnold being that much more talented than Teddy Bridgewater.
That's my thing.
Like maybe he's a little more talented than Teddy Bridgewater.
Probably got a stronger arm.
He's younger, maybe, but like I'm interested to see what's going to happen, and if he's going to go over there and all of a sudden, because they're talking like he's getting ready to turn into a top 5 quarterback. We had one of our homies in the group chat say Darnold's going to be a Pro Bowler next year.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, man. And he go back and watch him at USC. He threw a shit ton of interceptions at USC.
Yeah,
that was the biggest knock on him coming out, and he has not improved on that at all. And that is not Adam Gase's fault. Like, so if the biggest knock on you is that you turn the ball over, and the one thing that you don't want from an NFL quarterback is a guy who turns the ball over. Look, man, we saw Jameis Winston throw 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, but because he threw 30 picks with it, he was out of a job. So if a guy has a problem turning the ball over, that to me, like that sticks out. Again, I'm not like this is crazy that I'm even keep saying this, but why wouldn't you just sign Mitchell Trubisky for $1 million if you think you can save a guy because he has talent?
Right.
We have seen Mitch scheme to wins. If you do the right thing, he's not intelligent. You just got to do the right thing. So if Brady and Rule are like, yo, we can coach anybody. Well, go coach a guy who doesn't throw picks. Go coach a guy who's athletic and has talent. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm endorsing Mitch, but it's more like I just don't understand why
I don't know if he's worth all this, right?
Yeah, I don't know why you're trading 2s and 4s when you could grab another developmental quarterback. And guess what? If you suck, well, you have your first-round draft pick next year. You draft a quarterback because Matt Rule's on like a 10-year deal. He has this huge-ass deal. He's not going anywhere. So I don't understand the Darnold deal, dude. Someone tell me, anybody out there, put it on YouTube, put it on the Twitter, send me your Sam Darnold highlights that I need to see that show me something.
So I went and listened to Mina Kimes' breakdown on it, and she talked about it a bunch last year. But she essentially talked about his individual numbers were very on par with being a solid quarterback. The offense and the play calling and it was kind of like the stuff we saw with Nagy here in Chicago. They wouldn't stretch the field. They didn't have any talent. They didn't have any offensive line. He was always running for his life. Nothing. He never had the opportunity to show his talent. And then when he actually did, it was a small sample size, but his numbers were good. So
the guy threw
I'm going to tell you this, bro.
39 interceptions and 38 starts. I'm
going to tell you this, bro. It's I got to get my phone charger or my computer charger here too in 1 second. But
39 interceptions.
I'm going to tell you this, bro. If you get the media, this is a perfect example of the media narrative giving this. He just essentially got a whole nother chance to do anything he wanted. Here, tell the people what you're reading. I'm gonna plug in real quick.
Well, I'm gonna tell the people what I'm reading right here is that in 39 starts, Sam Darnold has turned the ball over 59 times. He has 39 picks and he has 20 fumbles. In 2019, in 13 games, he fumbled the ball 11 times. So again, man, you can't blame that on coaching. You can't blame that on Bulls. You can't blame that on Gase. That's on Sam Darnold, man. And I don't know if changing the situation or putting them with better coaching is going to fix that. Like, that's 60 turnovers in 39 games. 60 turnovers in 39 games. So the stat that I just read is on top of those 39 picks.
Oh, yeah, he was fumbling that bitch.
He also had 20 fumbles.
Yeah.
He had 59 turnovers in 39 games.
Yeah, it's a really interesting.
I don't guys that turn the ball over never have success in the NFL unless your name is Brett Favre. Period. Point blank.
It's a really interesting thing to talk about, like the whole media narrative, because I have yet to come across at least anyone on ESPN, Kimes, Big Swagoo, Warlowski, all those dudes are like, this guy just needs a fresh atmosphere and he's going to be able to do some things. So we'll see, because
none of them want to be wrong if he does turn out being good, but they know he's trash. I'll say it.
Yeah, he doesn't look like anything special to me.
59 turnovers. 59 turnovers. Yo, 59 turnovers in 39 games.
But we'll see because we saw what happened with Tannehill and him leaving and him being able to thrive out in Tennessee.
Tannehill didn't have 20 fumbles, man.
Yeah, that's true. We'll
Tannehill
see.
didn't. Yeah.
Put it like this. Mark our words here. Put it like this, I'm on the side of if he goes over there and starts dealing, I'll be way more shocked than if he went over there and was very mediocre.
For sure. And I would even say with Tannehill showed more flash to me than Darnold did. Tannehill showed that he could just be a boring starter in the NFL, which is what he is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This wasn't a third pick in the draft or whatever he went. But, yeah, we'll see, man. But, yeah, I think he's getting the benefit of the doubt. Shout out to him for capitalizing on it. And, hey, man, if he puts together a good season, it's a moot point. Everybody will forget his first 3 years in the league.
For sure. For sure.
And not too many players get that opportunity. So that's just how bad the Adam Gase experience was. Is he employed anywhere?
No, I don't know.
Watch Saban hire him, make him offensive coordinator, and fucking.
And then he'll be back.
He'll be back. That's what Saban does. Hey, give me a job.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about these draft quarterbacks. I saw you tweet. If you're gonna no, in short, you said you were gonna freak out if Justin Fields was the 5th quarterback drafted. And
I mean, some of the things
and it
I've
looks
seen,
looks like that's going to be the case.
Well, and yesterday, sorry, I mean to cut you off, but
no, yeah,
even the shit that's been on Twitter, the things that are coming out from these draft people, and you and I have been talking about it forever. You sit around and you look at these guys for too long, and you start looking at some other guy who maybe never did anything, and you just start falling in love with them. Like, let's fall in love with the guy who didn't play last year. Justin Fields, who did play last year, put up great numbers and led his team to a national championship game. But let's fall in love with the guy who didn't play at the damn near Division II school. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, so this is what I saw yesterday from Gil Brandt. One of these guys always pops up around the draft. If you pin me down and force me to pick between Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, I might pick Wilson. It's that close for me. Honestly, I'm surprised the Jaguars' new head coach didn't show up at BYU's pro day. I retweeted that and tapped. What is going on here?
Yeah, no, facts.
What is going on here? What are we doing? What film are we watching? What Trevor Lawrence are you watching? Have you been watching? I don't understand this, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Zach Wilson is.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy because it's another one of those situations where, smaller school, not a lot of comp, played behind a really good offensive line, didn't really seem to have too much adversity, I guess you could say. Everything on film that I've seen is nothing jumps off the page besides, he has a good arm. He has a lot of arm strength. There's no doubt about that. But
which we've seen time and time again is not a determining factor of success in the NFL.
Yeah, it's just some of the stuff you see from Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields and those guys is next level stuff against next level athletes.
Is those stuff called wins in football games?
Yeah, so it's
what are we talking about here?
It's really interesting. I guess you can't. I guess what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to say to? I would just think, coming from a Jets fan, and if I'm rooting for the Jets, go get me a dude with a little more. I don't know, man. I honestly,
dude, this is New York City. Go get me the quarterback who played quarterback at The Ohio State University and is used to the bright lights, dude.
I've also
don't go get me a guy from fucking Brigham Young. He's still a virgin.
Who also knows? I've also said on this podcast that I'm not going to I'm not going to slander these quarterbacks, because who knows what they're going to become and what they'll look like come NFL time. Because if you would a couple years ago, if you asked me if my man was going to be able to play quarterback,
Josh Allen,
yes,
yeah, no chance.
I was on him. I was like, yo, this is good. Oh, no, not Josh Allen.
I thought about to say you were on Josh Allen.
What was my man from Cal? Went to the Dolphins. Yeah, UCLA.
Josh
Rosen. I'm like, yo, this dude's going to be a player. He's going to be solid. He had that I don't give a fuck attitude. He was already He was a really smart dude. I thought he had a big arm. I thought he'd be a great NFL quarterback. He was trash. So it's really hard to tell with these dudes. So I always lean towards the guys that I've seen play at a super high level, make super high plays in big moments. So I'm always gonna lean to those guys. One thing about Trey Lance is he has one interception in his career. I thought this might sound kind of goofy. I didn't really like hearing that. If you have one singular interception, you have 3, 4, 5. That's still a great number. But one singular interception makes me feel like, and I've only watched a little bit of tape, but you're not getting put in enough situations to where you should never have 1 or 2 interceptions. Like that means your throws aren't difficult enough. You're not playing you're not trying to put balls in windows like you're going to have to put at the high level in the NFL. That's kind of what I was thinking about that. Even Aaron Rodgers throws 3, 4, 5 picks in a year.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're not getting
he,
balls tipped. If you know what I'm saying, you're not putting balls in windows to even get tipped to get picked. It's just an interesting situation, dog. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're playing North Dakota State. Who knows who you're playing against? And I get that's where Wentz came from, right? But I'll tell you, this shows you how plugged in I am to the draft. I didn't know till 30 seconds ago that Trey Lance was black, so I'm all in.
Oh, you didn't know Trey Lance was black?
I didn't play. I don't know anything about it. He didn't play football last year. He played at North Dakota State. I just found this out.
I don't
know. I haven't watched any film.
Oh my God.
His highlights crazy?
You got to go look at some film.
All right, I'll watch some film.
Honestly, his highlights weren't all that special. There were a lot of deep balls to open receivers for me. A lot of these passes were to wide open dudes. And I watched a good 20 minutes of tape. Gotcha. He could move though. He could use his feet, but I didn't see any big time throws right like that. I was like, oh shit, this dude's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Xander. Xander said, I agree with your overall point, Nick, but playing with a team full of 5 stars can mask a lot too.
Yeah, okay.
That's
so
true.
Yeah, no, it's 100% true, and that's what's being held against Fields really badly. And I guess it's starting to be held against our boy Trevor Lawrence, but he's still going to go number 1. I get that, man, but at the same time, okay, so should we only draft quarterbacks who made it happen at schools where they weren't getting a ton of 5-star recruits? Is that the way you're supposed to look at it? I mean, look at the quarterbacks around the league; they're coming from big time schools. Who are the best quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech.
Brady.
Aaron Rodgers, Cal. Brady, Michigan. Who else? Russell Wilson played at Wisconsin.
Closed it out. NC State to Wisconsin.
Yeah, so it's not like the league is full of a bunch of guys who played at smaller schools outside of your, Josh Allen, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is ass, though.
Yeah, he's ass. Exactly.
So yeah, no.
I see what he's saying, though. I hear you. If a guy makes it happen with lesser talent, that's why it's so hard to judge quarterbacks, because it is about the talent around you. If you have a whack offensive line in college, right, you could be the best quarterback in the world. You got a whack offensive line for 4 years, you can't really see it, right? So I mean, for sure, there could definitely, maybe that is the thing with Wilson. Maybe these guys who are looking at that are saying, man, we're visioning him with better talent. Obviously, there are. We're picturing him with better talent, and we see him producing at a higher level. Whereas when we look at Fields with better talent, he's not necessarily going to elevate. So, yeah, I get it. It's just, for me, in the little college that I watch, and a lot of it does happen to be Big Ten football, I saw everything I need to see from Justin Fields. He's a winner. So I just don't – I don't like when we start talking ourselves out of guys. But, if we would have said that about Josh Allen a few years ago. We were saying that about Allen.
There's no – I will say this. There's no reason – Justin Fields should be getting taken over Trey Lance, a guy that played in a small-ass school, hasn't played in a year. Meanwhile, the whole time he's been out, Justin Fields has been putting up very, very good numbers against very, very good competition all year. It's a reach. It's a risk, I guess, at the end of the day. But
for sure. Yeah, it's hard to evaluate these guys. And also, Xander, don't ever disrespect Troy Smith like that. He just never got opportunity in the league.
Shout out Troy Smith.
Shout out Troy Smith and Teddy Ginn.
Shout out Troy Smith, Teddy Ginn.
Troy Smith, Teddy Ginn connection was crazy.
crazy.
Maurice Claret.
Shout out Maurice.
They railroaded my man.
Shout out Maurice Claret. All right, let's move over to Aaron. I want to say this real quick on Aaron Rodgers. He came out recently the last couple of days. He's hosting Jeopardy, and he came out the last couple of days and addressed. He's essentially the Packers haven't given him an extension, and his response to it. People are asking him, "Are you going to finish your career in Green Bay?" His response is, "It's out of my control. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens in Green Bay."
Didn't he just sign an extension last offseason? He just wants more money, right?
No, it was the year before that. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he had just signed one, a huge one. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll look it up.
Either way, he's coming off an MVP and he's going into his last year of a deal.
He wants more money. He's talking Mahomes money.
Well, he's going into the last year of his deal. He just won the MVP. So there's uncertainty around, like, what are you going to do? Let him walk out the door?
Right.
After the year is over? So, yeah, that's the situation in Green Bay. I'm gonna say this. I wish Aaron would put a little more flack on the Packers and kind of rub them in the dirt a little more. I want him to come out and say, look, every single decision the Packers have made has been clearly to try to push me out the door. Simple as that. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know if y'all are paying attention. I'm the one on the field trying to get us to win games, and the last three seasons, they haven't done anything but help me. And a matter of fact, you can go all the way back to like Jordy Nelson. That's his number one connect. Most touchdowns.
They haven't drafted a skill position player in the first round in like 15 years.
Yes. The most
no running backs, no quarterback or receivers, no tight ends.
The connection for quarterback to wide receiver touchdowns all time is Rodgers to Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson was due for a deal. If you remember, they cut Jordy Nelson and didn't tell Rodgers about it. Didn't talk to him, didn't do anything. They cut his man. The guy
Nelson was done. Nelson was done, but yeah.
No, but listen, the guy he had thrown 60 touchdowns to over the last 4 years, they cut and didn't talk to him. He kind of shook that off, like, all right, don't worry about it. Then, like you said, the years coming after that, they haven't drafted a skill player in a decade plus, right?
Yeah.
So that's another sign. Then last year, you get the opportunity to add a skill player because the year previous, you go a bunch of defense. You go 2 corners who are studs now, by the way. So, okay, you add defense. You still don't add anybody for at skill wise for Aaron Rodgers. Then last year comes up. You have another opportunity to add a skill player. The draft is wide receiver rich with Judy and all these guys, right? You draft.
That is the year to get a wide receiver.
The year to get a wide receiver was last year. You need one to complement Adams, and then you go and draft
Jefferson.
Yes, everybody. You go and draft a quarterback. It's like everything you guys do, you tell me you don't want me to be around, and then they ask me all the time, "Do you want me to be around?" And it's almost like the actions speak louder than words. I wish he would just be like, "Yo, everything they do, it seems that they don't want me here, so we'll see what happens."
Well, they kind of leave him holding the bag too. It's like, hey, yeah, you're left to kind of explain our incompetence. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. But he never, and I know he doesn't put it like this. I think he fuck the front office and the Packers, who's running shit. I think he more likes he really appreciates the fans being a Packer, playing at Lambeau. All that. Man.
I don't think it's a franchise and city that's easy to turn your back on, just because, like, again, the fans are great in the way you're embraced, but. Yeah, I mean, they have wasted the fact that this Aaron Rodgers experience is going to end with 1 Super Bowl win and 1 Super Bowl appearance is incredible when you consider how long we've considered him to be the most talented quarterback in the NFL, right? All the years they wasted with Mike McCarthy. We knew Mike McCarthy was done as a coach 6 years ago. Like, he has been a terrible coach for that franchise for a long time. He's made terrible decisions in regards to clock management, in regards to fourth quarter. Like, he's just a bad coach, right? Yeah. And it was clear that he didn't have a great relationship with Rodgers towards the end. So it's like you really should have made a move earlier. You bring in LaFleur, who I like LaFleur. I think LaFleur is a good coach. Obviously, he's done great things for Rodgers, getting an MVP in year 37, whatever. Yeah, that's awesome. But at the same time, you draft a quarterback when your window is like this tight, right? And you're in a division where you know you're going to win this division, right? So you're going to get in the playoffs. You're going to get that opportunity. So the players that you sign, the moves that you make should all be towards performing in the playoffs, right? Like knowing you're going to win that division. So some of the moves that other teams might have to make that are more built around depth, certain things like that, in order to win a division, you're going to win the NFC North every fucking year. I'm sorry. You have the best quarterback. There's no other quarterbacks in the division. The Bears were your biggest threat this year. And I mean, they literally, so knowing all that, you don't make any moves. You don't make any trades, right? You don't go out looking for skill position guys. You don't go for broke to try to win a championship. You just say, we got the quarterback, man. We're going to fill the seats. We're fine. We're fine. We don't need to spend any money. It's embarrassing, man. Like the McCarthy thing to me is one of the things that sticks out the most because you really wasted him with a really bad coach
throughout the whole situation. So yeah, I wish he would just come out and say something of the sort. Like, look, stop asking me that. As you could see by the organization's moves over the years, do they want me around long term?
Yeah, what do you think?
mean, like, why? Yeah, what do you think? Because they haven't got me a skill player in 15 years. They drafted a quarterback. Do you remember what Brady did with Garoppolo? He told him, get him out of here.
Get this guy out of here.
Or I'm not coming back here. Period, point blank.
What's the purpose of this?
Straight like that.
And then win a Super Bowl.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you just don't do that type of shit.
Yeah, he's literally said, I don't care if this is Bill's guy. He went to Robert Kraft.
He went to Kraft.
Said, get this guy the fuck out of here. You're not going to have some guy. He's just not going to be. We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
What do you mean? Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Point blank. Here.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Give me Hoyer.
Give me a clipboard holder that can help me in film room. Yeah. Don't give me this guy. Don't give me this young, attractive guy right here behind me. This guy's all up on my lawn. Like,
facts.
Facts. He's talking to Giselle. I don't like this.
Get him out of here.
Say hi to my wife.
Facts. Yes, sir.
You played football with my kids. I don't like this, man. Get this guy the fuck out. As a matter of fact, get him as far out here as you possibly can. Send him to San Francisco.
Send him all the way to the
I don't
other
even want him on
the
the East Coast. You can't send him to Miami. Send that man to San Francisco. Get him the fuck out of here. That you're 100% right. When you put it like that, I didn't even think about that. Rodgers needs to go in there, put it on the table, and just say, look, man, y'all have been bullshitting me with this family-owned fucking town-owned business for the past fucking 15 years. All I've done is gone out there and play every game. All I've done is gone out there and produce. All I've gone is gone out there and take all the bullets and be a good fucking Packer and live in this shitty fucking town and win football games for you. And all you've done, great point, is show me reasons why you don't want me here. And then the icing on the cake, after I just have another good year, you draft a fucking quarterback. And I'm not even old.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap, man. Hey, you know what? Chicago's not that far away.
Come on down the road.
I'll go play over there. Them motherfuckers don't even know what a quarterback is.
No, man, what? That would be.
And you can eat at a nice restaurant, man. We can show you a real town.
I've loved Aaron Rodgers forever.
My favorite. Eat something other than a bratwurst. You know what I'm saying? You ever had steak?
So yeah, man, I thought that was interesting, and I think they're getting off light because it's obvious they're not handling that shit correctly, which should be positive, music in our ears for Bears fans, but
it shouldn't be that hard.
No. All right, let's move to the NBA. You know the Dilly.
Soch.
I thought this would be fun. ESPN dropped the 25 under 25, and we got to go through the list. And then we got to talk about Paul Pierce. But where are you at with the league right now? It's starting to get super spicy. I'm excited. I'm about to pull this up right now. How you feel about the Bullies real quick while I grab this real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I think people need to really we got it in our group message this week. People need to chill. Just calm down, everybody. Calm down. This Bulls thing wasn't gonna. You don't make a big trade like that, and then the next day you gel, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time. You got to see the long-term vision with that deal. I think you and I both see the long-term vision and what it means to get another all-star in here with Zach, who's still in his prime, and what that's going to mean for the franchise going forward. It was never about this year for me. I just need them to learn how to play together, use the rest of the season to learn how to play together. If you win some games and you happen to sneak in, great. If you don't, whatever, man. But I'm not going to sit here and hold on to hope of like the 6th pick, the 7th pick. If you're not picking in that top 2, forget about it. If you're not picking in that top 2, forget about it, right? Unless you're in a very deep draft. So I'm happy, man. I'm still, hey, look, these guys made a move. Come on, man. Y'all can't complain when we don't do anything and then complain when we do. Some of these people will never be happy. So I'm happy with it, man.
Let me try to
obviously, they
zoom
haven't
in
played
over
well,
here.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, facts. I agree, man. 100%. All right. They got the guy. They got the big dog Luka up here first. Dude, I've never been so wrong about a player in my entire life.
I was wrong too.
It's easily probably my worst take of my sports talk career. The slander that I sent Luka Doncic's way.
I mean, Euro perimeter players haven't always panned out.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go through the list. And I'm gonna scan through. We'll go top 10 first. And then we'll talk about how we feel about some of it. I don't know if we have the time to go through the whole 25, but we'll go through the top 10. We got number 1, Luka Doncic. We already know what time it is. 22 years old. Guy's a monster. One of the best players in the league. Number 2, Zion Williamson. Number 3, they have LaMelo Ball. A little over 19 and a half.
They lost me at 2.
Okay, then we'll come back to it. Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox is at 6, Ben Simmons, Devin Booker at 8, Bam at 9, Shy at 10. Honorable mention, Brandon Ingram at 11. What are your
rated
thoughts?
By future potential?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me, right? It looks like it's ran up by future potential. Do you think so? You said they lost you at 2. You don't think Zion should be at 2?
No, dude. I think Zion's putting up good numbers. His team is trash. And I think he's good, and I'm excited, and I think he's going to end up being really good. But he's got a lot to work on before he's the second most valuable player under 25. I mean, come on, man. Like if you're talking like that, Donovan Mitchell's already a superstar. Jason Tatum's already a superstar. Like these guys are already impact players that are on, I know the Celtics are struggling, but take Mitchell as the best player on the team with the best record in the NBA. Right. So, I don't go back to that list real quick, pull it up. Yeah. Who they put after Zion. There was a few guys that I'm taking after Zion. The Ben Simmons slander, man, it has to stop.
They got Ben.
Can we stop?
They got Ben at 7.
Can we stop? De'Aaron Fox is better, is more potential than Ben Simmons?
Forget about, this is the thing.
Or whatever. Like, however, no way you chop it, there's no list that should include De'Aaron Fox before Ben Simmons. What are we talking about here with Ben? Do we not care about defense anymore?
Well, the answer to that.
I get why you wanted to trade him for Harden, but I'm saying, like, this Ben Simmons shit has just gotten out of control. Or is it damn, like, if that's the case, man, you should just only shoot threes and the whole league will love you. Because if you don't, man, you are a fucking awful person. Like, God, this is crazy, man. Ben Simmons is a hooper.
What about this? What about Ja Morant?
Michael Porter Jr. over Ja Morant? And they're saying this list is based off potential. Look, Michael Porter Jr. has no back.
Trae Young. Yeah, that is true. Michael Porter Jr. is hot. Trae Young at 16.
Yeah. This list is ass, bro.
This list is really brutal. Shout out
the
to
young bull at 25.
Shout out to young bull.
How they disrespect the young bull like that? They don't watch.
So what do you think? Give me your top 5 then, and then we're about to. You know what? Give me your top 5. I'll give you my top 5, and then we'll go through and make our squads on that.
Io just declared for the draft. Shout out Io.
Yeah.
For U of I. Luka's number 1.
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Book.
Okay. You got Book at 3?
Yeah, I mean, you put him with another good player, and you're seeing what Donovan Book or Devin Booker is,
Oh,
and he's young. He's
is
so,
that
dude.
respect
Just
on
respect,
Big
man.
Book name?
Listen, man, that's second best record in the West. They're playing good. He's. You put him with the player that taught him the right way, and Donovan Booker. I keep calling him Donovan Booker. Donovan Booker would be a great player. But Devin Booker is playing. What was that? Was I gave you 3 or 4?
You gave me 3. You gave me Luka.
Pull the list back up and just kind of scroll real quick.
Yeah, you gave me Luka.
Luka, who was my 2? Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Devin Booker.
Yep.
No, I'm saying Luka, Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, Devin Booker. Bam. Listen, Bam was just the second best player on a team that made the NBA championship.
Yeah, he was.
That's what I look at, right? Like, if you're really like, guys that delivered when it was time to delivered when it's time. Donovan Mitchell's delivered when it's time to deliver. Bam Adebayo's delivered when it's time to deliver. Bam is averaging 20, 10, and 5 right now. 5 assists. You could run the offense through him, and he plays great defense. Like, if you talk about what you want in today's NBA from a big, you want Bam the only thing he doesn't do is shoot threes, but you would want Bam Adebayo. Last year we marveled at Bam Adebayo in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is a fucking monster. He's a problem, a matchup nightmare. Yeah. Bam. Give me Bam.
Give me Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell.
It's hard for me to leave Tatum off.
Booker, and Ben Simmons. That's probably my 5. I think there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of dudes on there. You know, people's like, oh, this dude's a stud. There's a lot of studs on there. So that's flexible, but I think the guys that I listed are just their next level. We're gonna make the squads on here. Me and Big Quick. For people listening at home, is like build your ultimate starting 5. I saw this on House of Highlights using $15. And Nick, you said you got your squad, yeah?
I do.
So go ahead, give it to me real quick.
All right, so this is one of the most fun things I feel like I've researched for our show.
Yeah.
It made me think like a GM. So I'm gonna start like this.
Yeah.
You got to get a star, and you got to build around that star. So every move that I made was built around building around my star. So my star for $5 was Luka Doncic.
Yes.
And I kind of went straight down the line because it actually equals $15 if you do it that way. Then I picked from the $4 category, knowing that my star is Luka Doncic, right, and he's going to dominate the ball, right. I don't need to add in another guy like a Trae Young in there who's going to dominate the ball. And I really don't need to add in a Ben Simmons who thrives best with the ball and should be your primary ball handler. So I went with Jaylen Brown, the ultimate complementary player, and he's going to clean up a lot of what Luka can't do on D. Jaylen Brown, two-way stud. He's putting up 28 a game right now. Like, that guy, why is he not on that list? Maybe he's not under 25. I don't know. But Jaylen Brown, I think he's a perfect complement.
No, Jaylen Brown's on that list. He was,
he?
I think he was like number 11 or 12. Yeah.
All right, then we go down to the next list. Look, clearly I researched this man because I just gave you his numbers. Bam Adebayo. What? Are you kidding me? Versatility on D, can also run some offense through him, but is another guy who, again, knowing that Luka's going to dominate the ball, he's fine with that. Bam Adebayo is going to get his 20 regardless. He's a great player to build around, and the defense is going to be outstanding. 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, 4.
2.
On my $4, on my number 2.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm thinking I need Luka to operate with somebody in the pick and roll. And I need it to be devastating. I need a proven scorer out there and a guy who can also stretch the floor. I want to see a Luka Doncic, John Collins pick and roll. This trade should have happened in real life. If I'm Dallas, I'm calling for he's the perfect player to play with Luka. John Collins is a fucking monster, but he shouldn't be playing with Trae Young. Let Luka and John Collins run the pick and roll, and we're good. It's lovely. Simple. He's the perfect second option for my team. And to round it all out, look, everybody needs that glue guy, right? You need that number 4 scorer, that guy who can do a lot, a guy who can get you 20 but can also do other things, can defend a little bit, and isn't going to demand a ton of spotlight. And he's actually doing that for a team with the best record in the NBA right now. So I'm going to go with my man from Villanova, Mikal Bridges, as my $1 player. So we got Luka.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that.
Jaylen Brown, Bam Adebayo, John Collins, and Mikal Bridges. I don't have your like marksman 3-point shooter, but I got a bunch of guys that are around 40%. Defensively, Luka's a liability, but I got Bam and Bam, Mikal, and Jay can clean that up. John Collins isn't a great defender either, but Bam is versatile enough to guard 3s, 4s, and 5s for me. So got a lot of switchability. We get a big man off the bench with this team, a point guard, steady hand. Give me like a TJ McConnell type player.
Yeah,
we're off and running. Actually, give me Jalen Brunson for 50 cents.
Could you get? Hey, I'm not mad at that. I take Jalen
No
Brunson
cap.
for the 50 cents. No cap.
Yeah, no cap.
Just because I knew you were gonna pick Luka, I just stayed off Luka just so we could have a little difference on here. I'm gonna go ahead and take Devin Booker at 5, just because I think he is the 2 guard of my dreams. Like that's the guy I want playing 2. He could just absolutely fill it up. So I'll take Devin Booker, and he's a pure 2. Like none of that bringing a rock up. He's not gonna run shit for you. He's not looking to run any sets. None of that. So I'm gonna get I'm gonna kick it off with Devin Booker at the 2. I'll then go and get Ben Simmons to run the 1, play D.
Love him with Devin Booker.
Yes, love him. Love him with Devin Booker.
And they both dated. Didn't they both date Jenner?
And
too?
they both fuck Kendall Jenner, so they can vibe out on that
too.
Great.
It's a vibe out on that out in LA, energy. Kicking it. It's all great. They both got a light skin with the curls, man. These are your guys right here.
They know the people. They got the same people. They got the same homies and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm rocking Devin Booker at the 2, Ben Simmons at the 1. Give me Bam to rim run and play some more defense with Ben Simmons. I think that would be super tough.
Love it.
Then give me See, I changed mine up a little bit last minute. I don't want Aiden. I don't really want MPJ.
MPJ is weird.
I don't want LaMelo. Maybe LaMelo is your key to this all. You take LaMelo at the 2.
Well, you don't have a point guard right now, do you?
I got Ben Simmons, I guess. He's not the pure point. Okay, give me LaMelo, and then give me Miles Turner. Done.
Miles Turner. So interesting. So you're opting for some size. You're gonna go with Miles Turner and Bam.
Yeah, fuck it.
So you're getting a lot of shooting from Book. You don't have any 3-point shooting.
Not have any 3-point shooting. You're right.
Yeah.
I changed.
But you got a lot of fun. You got a lot of fun, though. Your team is really fun.
Honestly, the reason I changed so much of mine up because we almost had like the same squad. Because I went Luka, Jalen as well, just because that's a crazy combo. But
Jalen can play with. Yeah, Jalen's a perfect player to play with the ball hog.
Yeah, I also do like. Okay, then help me fill mine out. Then I'll go Ben Simmons.
So you're starting with. So Devin Booker's your top guy, right?
Yeah.
Booker and Simmons, you need somebody who can shoot.
Yes.
So give me Jamal Murray.
Okay. Murray. It gets ugly down at the bottom, though.
It gets real ugly. I mean, Aiden might be perfect for you because you could go Aiden and LaMelo, right? 5'4", 2'2". Is that enough money?
5'4". That's 9, 12, 14.
Jared Allen. Rim running, shot blocking.
Yeah.
Throw him with Lonzo.
Yeah, Murray. Yeah, Murray, Lonzo, Jared Allen.
Yeah, Murray, Lonzo, Jared Allen. That's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. That'd be interesting.
That's really fun. Yeah, because Jared Allen's just going to be allowed to do his thing. Lonzo's not looking for shots, and defensively, that's actually pretty decent. Because Zo's a great defender.
For sure. No love for Trae Young, huh?
No, I don't want anywhere in our basketball team. I was very close to taking. Shout out Eder. I was close. I wanted Anthony Edwards just off the strength. I just want him. I want him on my team. I want to root for him. Listen, man.
I mean, you could go Ant Edwards, LaMelo.
Have you watched Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, he's
fucking good, dude. Like, look, I don't know what his deal is.
Who's his talent?
he just oozes talent. The dude is like a 6'5" bowling ball with a handle and a jumper with insane elite level athleticism. And get him in the right situation with some mentors, get his body right, get his mind right, get the people that he's around away from him probably. And my mess is a problem. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It was going to go one of two ways, and it's gone the other way. And I just think that dude, if you haven't watched, they don't win any games, but please, he'll do like 5 things a night where you're just like, yo, this dude is fucking good.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just step back, all types of shit. Yeah,
no doubt.
Pull up.
All right, we'll leave it there. Big Nick the Quick. For Big Nick the Quick, I'm your host, Sean Little.
Wait.
Oh, we got to talk about Paul.
If your paycheck.
Gee, wait. Okay, wait. Wait, I had the clip pulled up too. Hold on. Okay, don't worry about that.
Cornball of the what?
Listen, my take might. Okay, for those who don't know, we're talking
it's not corny. Recording that shit is corny as fuck.
We're talking about Paul Pierce, what he did. If you don't know what we're talking about, I don't know where you've been. Go on Twitter, go look up Paul Pierce video. IG Live. He essentially went on IG Live, was at a crib with some strippers and kicking it. He was smoking weed, everything. And he was and he had it on film on IG Live. Now, he just got divorced. So word on the street is that he was celebrating his divorce. It was done, and that's it.
Oh, he was trying to show his ex-wife.
So he was really, really kicking it. Like that was it.
Capping for the gram.
Yeah, exactly. Death by clout.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely death by clout.
Death by clout.
The number one killer of black folks.
Number one killer. So he ends up getting released by ESPN. The video was hilarious. He had girls dancing, and he was mispronouncing. He was mispronouncing countries. The real LA Paul. Yeah. This was the Paul that got stabbed.
Yes.
That Paul came out.
Yeah.
So ESPN lets him go, which we knew that was coming. What do you think the reason for the firing is? Is it just because we can't be Disney cannot be associated with that type of behavior?
I think Disney looks at it just like, why would you? It's one of those things where like, like back at school, you get in trouble like with your parents or some shit. It's not even like I'm mad at what you did. It's just, why would you do something so stupid? If you're Disney, you're just like, the decision-making behind that, at no point was this a good idea. And it says a lot about your decision-making, right? You can go have strippers. You can go smoke weed, right? If we don't test you for that, it is what it is. But you work for Disney, right? You know that you get paid a lot of money to do so. ESPN pays very well, right? And I get Paul Pierce has money, but this is a great job he could have for the next 20 years, right? But Kendra Perkins is going to be on TV for the next 20 years spitting nonsense, and he's going to make a lot of money to do it. Perfect example, I say him all the time, is Jalen Rose. Been on average player, above average post-playing career. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? And just keep it in between the lines. There was just no reason for it, man. And like, to me, when I'm watching, I'm like, Paul, like, you were in the league for 20 years. Like, you've been famous for a while. It's like, this isn't your first time around strippers and all this shit, right? So like, why do you need to video document the shit? You know what I mean? Like, usually people video document shit like that. It's like the first time, like, look at me. Like, I'm living that life. Like, you're a we know that this is part of your life. You didn't have to show it to me. Right. So just to go on your live, right? Your live that it has ESPN and Disney employee all over it, right? Because when you are that, they promote you. They promote you through their Instagram, right? So they're promoting you as an employee. You can't put that shit on there.
Yeah, facts.
You can't put that shit on there, man. Like, so, yeah. And your takes trash. But you said, like, hey, Stephen A. You were like, Stephen A. wouldn't get fired. But Stephen A. also knows he works for Disney and wouldn't blow the bag like that. Yeah. So, like, overall, I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with smoking weed and getting strippers rub you down if that's what you want. It's all legal. They're getting paid. Or whatever. I don't even think there's anything really morally wrong with it. It is what it is. It's just stupid to broadcast to millions of people when you work for Disney.
I was just thinking how. I was thinking every time I see this guy, the next time I see this guy on the jump, that's the only thing I'm going to think about the whole time.
Right. And you got Rachel Nichols' name flashing across the live. Where's Rachel Nichols? So, like, that's a bad look, too. It's just like, she sees it like, come on, man. This goofy motherfucker.
People are gonna. That was people were gonna be laughing at him in the hallway and everything, and they just couldn't.
It couldn't happen, and they're just like, we can't like sit here and deal with you when you're this stupid. Sometimes you look at someone, you're just like, yo, if we don't teach you a lesson, you might do some other dumb shit. And also, like, a lot could have went wrong in that live stream tue. You know what I mean? Like,
pretty kosher on there.
It was very kosher. It was like a PG. I was also like, this is the lamest stripper party ever. When I saw it, at least, you know what I'm saying? That shit didn't look like it was cracking.
It was low-key.
With all that money Paul got. But it is what it is. But we've known that he's a clown, man. He's a clown-ass dude. Ever since the wheelchair, he's a clown. Yeah. Hey, but I'll say this. Whenever I hate on Paul Pierce, I got to give him this. Bucket.
Basket.
Mop and bucket. No definition in his body whatsoever. No athleticism. Buckets.
Any spot he wanted to get to on the floor at any speed, he got there. Basket.
He could get to any spot. 100%. He's one of the best at ever getting to his spots and getting the shot off that he wants.
Yeah.
So shout out Paul Pierce, but sloppy body, sloppy Instagram, and now he's like, see what's. Yeah, I wouldn't blow the ESPN bag, man, because it's just a gift that keeps on giving.
They say he's gonna go to Barstool. That's Portnoy's on him to come over to Barstool.
Yeah, great. Portnoy. Portnoy. Yeah, it's right up Portnoy's alley, apparently. shout out David Day Trader.
Yeah, so he might.
Is that what he said he's gonna do?
Yeah, they're in the talks. I guess Portnoy was talking about he's gonna try to bring him on. So,
not for that ESPN money though.
No, but
he's probably getting $1 million a year at ESPN for that shit. Easy.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Honestly. Maybe more. But yeah, shout out Paul Pierce, the truth. He I hope he had a good time that night.
Hey man, that's all good, bro. Man. Yeah, enjoy your money. He's still rich as fuck. He didn't need this job like everybody else needs that job, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Shout out Paul Pierce. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. That's it for No Catch Up today. We'll see y'all at the end of the week. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. Make sure you subscribe everywhere, man. Tell the homies, tell the friends. Available everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. You know the deal. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We out of here.